All right, well, our next guest is currently #1 in the world in the all-around and the calf roping. He picked up another event to try to get that all-around the steer roping, and he's been pretty much dominating all year long. Please welcome Shad Money Mayfield. Welcome, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
So is it Shad Money Mayfield? Did you legally change it?
I guess that's the new name now, so I'll roll with it.
I mean, who called you that first? Or was that a self-appointed name?
It was actually, I was in junior high, and a special friend of ours made me a rope can. And I guess she got the idea from Floyd Money Mayweather, so she put Money Mayfield on there. And, you know, I was a kid, so I made it my Instagram name, Facebook, everything. And then the first year I won the American and split the $1 million there, then the announcer said Money Mayfield, and it kind of rolled from there.
Well, I like it. I think it flows. I think you should just change it legally.
It's cool. It's cool. That's what every rodeo I go to now, they say Shad Money Mayfield, so I stick with it.
I think it's pretty cool. So speaking of the American, I mean, that was pretty impressive that you were able to split the $1 million, I mean, way back when. I mean, how did that kind of propel your career?
Oh, the American, the first win I had, I won $600,000 there. You know, that was huge for me. It allowed so much for me. It allowed me to get a couple really good horses. After I won the American that year, I went and bought my good horse Rampage, and he helped propel my whole career. You know, I won my first world championship on that horse, and honestly, $600,000 makes rodeoing a little easier for sure. And it helped me getting a home out in Texas. I bought some land and built a home, and recently just sold that place and starting to build another one. So that first American win has set my whole career up for sure.
I'm sure it didn't hurt, you know, $600,000. I mean, get you down the road a little bit. Now, let's talk about last year's American Rodeo, because you were the American champion. I mean, we have our run here, and let's look back at it and just kind of walk us through a little bit.
Yeah, you know, the American's one of my favorite rodeos, and this is my first time actually making it back to the final 4 rounds since my first win there. And this year I was like, I need to win the American again this year. And being in Globe Life, you know, that's another cool experience to get at AT&T and getting a new spot like that. And you know, I love that rodeo, and the payout's even better.
Yeah, payout was pretty good. It was definitely pretty good. I mean, how did it feel kind of just taking that victory lap in the Ranger? I mean, you should have done something cool. I mean, you should have like backflipped off of it or something. You just kind of stepped out all calm. And
well, if they were still giving a Polaris Ranger, I'd have probably done a backflip off of it. But no, it was a cool experience to be able to get out there and do the victory lap, you know, because the next day I went to Rodeo Houston, so it just kind of fueled me to go into other rodeos.
Yeah, you've really been killing it at all the major rodeos, coming off a big win at Reno, and then now Cheyenne, you've done really good. We actually have your run here. What were you, 10.8 yesterday?
Yeah. Had a really good run yesterday. The Kevs, they've already been ran here, so they were running really hard in the past sets, and I knew with my horse, as fast as she is, I wouldn't have a problem, that I just needed to rope the calf and do my part.
Yeah, amazing. And I've noticed that you've kind of, I mean, you're dealing with an injury, and we got to talk about it, because are you kind of cherry picking the rodeos that you're entering, or are you just kind of gritting your teeth and entering them all?
I've been gritting my teeth and entering them all. I got 2 torn labrums in both of my hips and impingement, and in January, Dr. Tandy told me to do surgery, and kind of that was the only thing to fix it. But I was actually had it set to do surgery after Houston, and then I had some wins at San Antonio and Fort Worth, and the season was looking good. And once I talked to the surgeon, he told me I have to do both my hips. There wasn't just one, so I wouldn't be good for the NFR. So I said, I'm not, with what I have one now, I can't miss out on the NFR this year. So I said I was going to bear down and go through the season. And whenever I was home, it was a lot easier because I wasn't sitting in the truck just driving and flying around. And I had doctors at home doing physical therapy every day. But being on the road, it's been a lot harder sitting in the truck for 12, 15 hours at a time and plane rides. And, you know, we're at a different rodeo every day, so it's hard to kind of get worked on. So the other day at Spanish Fork, I actually was tying a calf and my hips locked up on me, and I couldn't even get up. And once I did, my legs just started shaking. So that's when I kind of got the sign that I needed to go home for a little bit and just rest. So Cheyenne will be my last rodeo for a little bit.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, surely you're sponsored by Advil now at this point, right?
Ibuprofen and Advil is getting me through a lot, and a lot of Dex. Dex helps a lot. Horse medicine.
Yeah, horse medicine. The people in the crowd are giving concern.
Don't try it. I guess it's bad for your liver, but it makes you feel good.
You do what you got to do.
You do. I'm not trying to make it a habit. I'm just trying to get through Cheyenne.
Well, let's have one last question about the all-around, because was that always kind of the plan leading into this year, that you were going to pick up steer roping and try to go for that all-around title, or just having a successful year in the calf roping, did you think, man, I should pick up another event and go at it?
Well, I've always wanted to be a steer roper. I did it 2 years ago when I did the timed event and kind of fell in love for it then. And my grandpa, he passed away. He was a big steer roping fan, and I always wanted to do it just because of that. But, you know, this year kind of gave me a reason to start steer roping. And with the money I had won in the calf roping and with all around being wide open, I said, you know, I could go start steer roping, win a little bit of money. And I actually ended up buying a steer roping horse and fell in love with the event. And, you know, it's kind of hard to get to all the steer ropings and be at all the calf ropings, so I kind of just go where I can this year, and you know, the next year that I come out in rodeo, I think I'm gonna try to make the steer roping finals. But it's definitely an event I love to do. But you know, it's like I didn't get a steer rope or team rope here at Cheyenne because I was at Calgary, so it's kind of hard to work a lot of the events, you know, back to back. But props to Trevor Brazil for being able to do what he did back in the day, because it's so hard.
Oh my gosh, I bet. Well, thank you so much for being on with us today, and we
Yeah.
can't wait to watch you in Cheyenne. And well, if you're gonna go home, I guess we'll see you at the NFR. I'm sure.
For sure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Everyone, Shad Mayfield, #1 in the all-around, #1 in the calf roping.